This is VlogGnaw, the weekly vlog all about
Golfing.
Hello everybody, Alec Hendo here, and we're finally doing it, the Wolf review. Whew! Getting chills just thinking about it. Such a great album, guys, right off the bat. And I'm glad I'm doing this as a review because I've seen a few reviews already on YouTube and they're like 3 minutes long, barely even talking about the album, and no one even seems like they're fucking Odd Future fans, like they only pick up an album every time Tyler drops one. But this is a review from a fan who listens to the albums religiously, goes to the shows, knows all the words. So this is a real review, basically. I get frustrated by all these reviews I've been seeing. Man, I was so excited to hear this album after years and years of waiting, and it had so much hype. It had so much hype, and it really, truly lived up to it. Now, in my opinion, there are two ways to listen to this album. There's just, you're just listening to the songs as it goes, and then you can also listen to it as a story aspect. In this review, I'm only going to talk about it in the music sense. I'm going to do a video later doing basically a story analysis of Wolf, but we're just going to talk about the songs in this one. So the first song is Wolf. It's like a 1:51 song, and right off the bat, I mean, if you're familiar with the other Tyler albums, you realize this isn't a tradition in the traditional sense of how Bastard had a long song and Tyler's talking to the therapist about where he is now, as Goblin did too. Wolf starts out with some nice, pretty piano chords, and then Tyler singing "Fuck You." It's pretty funny, and it's funny because it's like you hear those piano chords, and you're like, oh wow, this is Tyler's serious album, which you've heard. And then the first thing he says is "Fuck You," and he's just it's the same old Tyler, but his music has progressed, but it's just the same old Tyler, and I really like that about it. And then there's a little skit segment at the end, but I'll talk about that in my story video. The next song is Jamba, which has Haji beats, and I love that song. That beat is so heavy. That first line Tyler says in it, oh man, it gets me going. He goes, "Pop still ain't called, even though he see me on TV. It's all good. Fuck you." Oh, I love that line. It's fucking awesome. Haji has a really nice verse on there. I mean, the two of them just go together so great, and I'm glad that he chose this beat for them to go on. And it's just a fun song to just get the album going. Cowboy is the next song. One of my favorite songs. It's so pretty, just nice piano chords, and Tyler has some smooth raps on there. One of my favorite lines is "Designing clothes, cats on everything, cats on everything." It's really nice. It's just Tyler talking about who he is, what he likes to do, and he is a cowboy on his own trip, basically. It's a really awesome song. Awkward is I'm gonna say it's one of my favorite songs, because every one of them is like one of my favorite songs for different reasons, but Awkward truly is one of my favorite songs because I remember when we heard that Awkward snippet from that summer camp mix, and I just knew Wolf was gonna be something special. And to finally hear, when I heard the album for the first time and I heard that song and it kept going past that part of the snippet we heard, I was like, yes. I was so hyped. It's a really nice song. It has a really just smooth, chill beat. It's one of those beats where it has that analog sound, where the whole lake thing. My nose is itchy. But Tyler has the deep voice on it, and it's just, the deep voice really goes together well with the song, and it's so pretty. It's just talking about teenage love and how awkward it can be, and it's just, everyone can kind of relate to that song, unless you've never had a love or anything. I don't know. Then we go to Damo 23, of course, the turn up song. We've all seen the video, we've all heard the single, we've heard Damo 23, it's awesome. And I still like it, even though that's probably the song I've heard the most because it came out. I still like that song a lot. And I like how it goes from awkward, just a really smooth song, and then just jumps into Damo 23 to remind you that this album is still a fucking awesome turned up album. The end of Damo 23 on the actual album's a little different. It has a little voicemail segment where I think it's Wolf or Sam, but that's the story side. Won't talk about that yet. They call to try to get a hold of their dad, and it's Thurnis Haley. It's pretty funny. And then that goes into Answer. Answer is my favorite song on the album. It's not one of my favorite songs, it is my favorite song on the album. I've listened to it more than any other song. I can't get enough of it. It's so pretty. The first time I heard Answer, literally it made me depressed. It made me fuck, I just wanted to cry. That shit was so sad and so pretty at the same time. but I still love it and I can't get enough of it. It's just like, I feel like Tyler shows a lot of maturity in that song. He's still like kind of fuck you to his dad, but it's so real. It's like, if I want to call, I hope you answer, and it's such a pretty song. I love it. I can listen to it all the time. The part on Answer when he like talks about Clancy, he showed him a world that he wasn't supposed to see, like, fuck, that shit's so tight. That song is probably one, like, next to Her on Goblin, that's probably one of the realest songs Tyler's ever written. Oh, it's so good. So good. The next song is Slater, has Frank Ocean on it, and it's a song about his bike, basically, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I really like the beat more than anything on that song. One of my favorite parts on Slater is Frank Ocean at the end. He goes, "Oh, you're a cool guy. You're singing about your bike, you loser," or something like that. I think that's really funny. The song 48, oh, it's so good. Starts out with Nas, and he doesn't really rap or put anything musical on it. He just kind of talks about, you know, crack, cocaine, all that stuff, and how it really just messed up that time he was in. And the song 48 is Tyler kind of taking on, I think it's crack, I'm not 100% sure, but basically a dealer selling drugs in 48 states. He gets it in, and it's an awesome song. Man, he really takes on an alter ego and really just throws down some bars on that song. The nice thing about this song is it probably has one of the catchiest choruses on this entire album. It just sticks like glue. It's 48 states I get it in. Like that's always stuck in my head. Him and Frank Ocean did a good job with that. Colossus! That song is awesome. That song reminds me of the Eminem song Stan, where he's rapping about the fan, and he's taking the song on as if he was the fan, and Tyler does the same thing. It's a story about him going to Six Flags and these fans that come up to him and what he says. And I mean, some of it kind of gets a little far-fetched with him saying he wants to, like, he can't stop thinking about his face and he loves him and everything. Like, it gets a little far-fetched, but a lot of it's real, and that must be like what goes on through Tyler's head and probably how he sees a lot of his fans. But it's a really cool song, and I love to just listen to that song as a story aspect and just kind of hear it beginning to end, and it's a really nice song. Track number 10 is actually 3 songs put together: Party Isn't Over, Campfire, and Beamer. All 3 are really nice songs that could have just standed on their own and been possibly a lot of your favorite songs, but he decided to put them all together, and it's nice. I kind of understand why he would put Party Isn't Over and Campfire together, because they're kind of like, I almost want to say like he made really smooth instrumentals and he just wanted to put just a minimal amount of words over it. I mean, Party Isn't Over, he doesn't really say much, but the party isn't over. And kind of same thing with Campfire, but they're still really pretty songs, and I really just like to chill out and listen to them. But Beamer is Beamer. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the best songs on the album. It got all of us crazy hyped when we saw that little bit on Domo 23, and we hear a little bit more than we did the first time. We actually hear Frank Ocean sings a little bit more. He has an extra part on there. Beamer it just has a funky sound to it, and I really dig that song. I Fucking Hate You is the next song, and first off, let me say how awesome it is that Tyler has a song Pharrell. I mean, if you're a big fan, you obviously know he's a huge Pharrell fan. He looked up to him his entire life, and man, that must be an amazing feeling to just grow up looking up to someone and to have a song with them. I mean, that has to be a great feeling, and it's like, when I saw the track listing, I saw Pharrell on there, I was like, ah, that's so cool. He recently put out a video for this song, and it's one of my favorite songs. Once again, I really enjoy this song. It's just, right with Answer, it's just a real song. You know, you love someone so much and you hate them, but you still love them, and it's something we all go through in life, that feeling, and we can all relate to that song. And Pharrell's voice really matches with that song nicely. That guy, he can sing. And it's cool, like, I mean, Tyler's always kept his albums in-house. He's always kept, you know, Only Odd Future members, but he put Pharrell on here for obvious reason. He's a huge Pharrell fan, so it makes sense. And Pharrell can sing. He did that song justice. Pigs is like one of the most violent songs on the album, that kind of, this song could fit on Goblin if it wanted to. This one I think has a lot to do with the story, but I won't get too much into that. And it just has the police sirens in the background and just a really dark beat, and Tyler's his subject matter is a little dark too. I like this song a lot. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Goblin times. Parking Lot's a super good song. There's nothing really wrong with it. I don't know why this song is always pretty forgettable for me. It has Casey Veggies and Mike G on it, which I think it's cool that he actually threw Casey on there, because I mean, he involved everyone on Odd Future in this album. Even Sid's on Answer. You got Frank, Haji, Left Brain. Everybody's on this album, and I think that's one of the coolest things about it. Parking Lot's a good song though. It's just a little forgettable for me. The song Rusty, it has Damo and Earl on here, and Rusty has one of my favorite Tyler lines on the entire album. That part where Tyler's like, all the Analog fans are getting sick of the rape. All the Tron Cat fans are getting sick of the lakes. Well, what about me? I'm getting sick of complaints. That shit is fucking tight. Like, that line is so incredible to me. And then the line where he says, fuck studio time, I'm gonna buy a shrink and then send all you motherfuckers a link. Like, that is tight. That is so cool to me because obviously Bastard and Goblin were the sessions with the therapist. God damn. Where does this guy come up with this stuff? Earl is nice on the song, but he had the shortest verse on here. I wish he was on here a little more. And to be honest, I'm really surprised there's just not an Earl Wolf song on here because that's so popular with the fans. I'm surprised they didn't have just an Earl Wolf song on here, but nonetheless, it's a good song. Trash Wang. There's a lot to say about Trash Wang. First off, he threw a Knockel, who, if you're familiar with Odd Future, he's a friend of theirs and he's a professional skater, and he's not a rapper at all, but they threw a verse on there for him, and man, did he do that song justice. It's one of my favorite verses on there. He should rap more, honestly. Left Brain has the chorus on there, and no one to do it better. He just has that deep voice that's perfect for it. And that chorus, like, as an Odd Future fan, should get you hyped. Like when Tyler's verse starts, the beat changes a little bit and it gets really heavy with the beautiful chords, and he has just a really, really nice verse on there. It's like, that song is Tyler's rapper side. He does a lot of bragging, he brags about the carnival, and it's his rapper side in that song, and the whole song is really the true rap song on the album because that beat is really a heavy trap beat with some really pretty chords on it. Jasper has a verse on there. I love Jasper, and I think he's a good rapper, but I think that's the worst Jasper verse ever. I just don't like how he's doing that thing with his voice. I think it's appropriate for the song and the image they're trying to get across, but I still think that's the worst Jasper verse yet. The Taco verse, though, I like because he slows it down and he raps kind of slow and you can fully hear exactly what he's saying. I like that Taco verse. And then they threw Lucas on the song, which, Lucas, he's on the cover of Odd Future Tape Volume 2, the white guy. And, I mean, you can't necessarily say it's bad because I think it's supposed to be that way. And, because he obviously doesn't talk like that in real life, and it's crazy. I think it's supposed to be that way, and you gotta appreciate it for that. And it's out of the control, and it's funny. Treehouse 95. I hear a lot of people say this is their favorite song on the album. It's far from my favorite. I mean, it's pretty, yeah. It has, like, some pretty jazz sound to it, but when I listen to a Tyler album, I want to hear, Tyler on it. I mean, I'm sure he made the music in the background, but he barely even has a part in there where he's not either singing or rapping or anything. I just think if he threw a part on there with a verse or something, it really could have been something special. But they did say the song wasn't finished, so I don't know. Maybe we'll hear something else from it. We'll see. Now, I hear a lot of people talking crap about this Tamale song, saying it's just stupid. That is one of my easily, like, really up there on my favorite songs of this album. It is a funny, great song. It's out of control. It's crazy. It's Tyler being himself, and it's really out there. But that first line when he's like, "You said calm down since the last album, we can suck my dick and lick my cum." It's just, that beat is fast, and I don't know, that song gets me hyped. I could bump that in my car and just be like, going crazy to it. And then the end, and he gets caught jerking off. It's funny. That's a good song. Fuck you guys who don't like that song. There's a lot to say on the story side alone, but musically, I mean, the first time I heard it, I was like, what the heck? Like, it really caught me off guard because the background is totally jazzy, and then Tyler's, doing that speak rap type of thing that he does on Bastard and Goblin, those songs. And the first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But then the second time, third time, I heard it, and I really heard what he was saying about his grandmother's death, and just that really jazzy beat. And he really did that song justice, and I really learned to really love that song and appreciate what it is. And it's really an emotional song, and it's sad, and Tyler's a great storyteller too. Like, you can listen to that song and really in your mind get a good image of what's happening because he's such a good storyteller. And that wraps up the album right there. And I don't really like the way the album ends per se. It kind of leaves you off on a cliffhanger, and it kind of just ends suddenly. Just because, you know, the way Goblin ended was just like, fuck, like that's how it ended, holy crap. And Wolf's not like that at all. But I think it has to do a lot with the story side once again, and I think that we're gonna have another album that will help us fully understand this one. But like I said, there's a lot of things I want to talk about story side. I just want this to be a review on pure music. And I mean, you heard me go down the track list. I don't have any complaints with any of these songs. This album lived up to the hype. You can tell it was a well-crafted, well-thought-out album. And I loved every song. I mean, the beauty of a Tyler CD is when you listen to his music, it's him. It's all him. The beats, you know, the verses besides his features, but it's all him. You listen to other artists and those beats are from other people. It's not really truly all them. And that's one thing I really appreciate about Tyler's album. So, just letting you guys know, I love the album. It's one of my favorites. And I don't know, I can't wait to go see the Wolf Tour to see some of these songs live. And I've listened to this album like over 20 times, and I'm going to keep it on replay for a long time. So guys, please in a comment below, let me know what your favorite tracks off Wolf were, and overall what you thought about the album. That's it for now. Please subscribe. Peace.
Future Wolf Gang, bro, we kill them all. Golf wang sticker on that trash wang, niggas know that. OF poppin', Lord of Squawk, VlogGnaw. OFWGKTA, yeah, you niggas know them.